Hit me with the horn, 20. Keep making noise. Keep making noise. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We're here with a special 1-year anniversary podcast of the You Should Think This blog. About a year ago, I started a blog, and it began with an All-Star article about how to make the All-Star game better, the NBA All-Star game. And today we're going to kind of talk about it. Before we do that, I just want to thank anybody who's ever gone to the website, who's ever read any of the articles, listened to the podcasts, any of that stuff. Big thanks to all of you guys. It really makes me feel good to hear people talk about the articles, go on the website, stuff like that. With that being said, I have a returning guest, Mr. Kayvon Parvizi. What's up, player?
Hey, man. How we doing today?
Doing good. Let's tell the folks how to make the All-Star game better.
That sounds like... First of all, can I just point out that today's Valentine's Day, by the way, and you started your blog on Valentine's Day a year ago. I can imagine your girlfriend coming in and saying, "What are we doing today, Chris? I started my blogging career, honey."
Oh, yeah, it didn't go over well. But most Valentine's Days don't, so oh well. She'll get used to it.
Disappointment for everybody.
But anyway, the article, I wrote that article about a year ago, and basically I turned the All-Star game, instead of into like a weekend thing, I turned it into a week-long thing and revamped some of the events. First off, because we're always about giving the people what they want. The people want a 3-on-3 tournament between the studs of the NBA. And that's what I based the whole NBA, the All-Star week around, is a 3v3 tournament that goes on as the week goes. So that's why that explains the week length of it. But intermittently throughout the week, we have, the regular events. So the first one I want to talk about is on Monday, in this hypothetical All-Star week, on Monday, we're bringing back a fan favorite, the Celebrity All-Star Game. I love the Celebrity All-Star Game. It's one of my favorite things. Kayvon, what do you think about it?
I'm with you. I love the Celebrity Game. I'm a fan of Celebrity Anything Game. It's the Celebrity Softball Game for the All-Star Weekend. That one's just as good. So I'm glad you kept this one in there. I'm pumped about it, and I know we're going to be talking about who we think would be good for this game. So I'm pumped to get to that.
So
here we're starting off with it.
Yeah. So. I know this year they're doing Bill Simmons and Jalen Rose are the coaches of the two All-Star teams, the Celebrity All-Star teams. But since this is our podcast, you and I are going to be coaches, and we're going to pick what celebrities would be on our team. So I'm going to kick things off. I'm going to pick my guy first. I'm going to go back and forth.
You can do it like a draft style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool then. Then for team, you should think this. First overall, that's a hard... I'm doing it. See, I want to have a ground and pound mentality with my team. Real inside-out game. So to do that, you have to have an anchor at the 5 spot. So first overall, I'm going Melissa McCarthy.
Whoa.
She can use that donk to just straight root herself deep in the paint, and just establish herself. Feed her and just let the big dog eat, pretty much. If you ever seen the movie The Heat, she shows that she'll bring great passion and a dirty mouth to the team. And those are all positives in my book. So that's my number one pick, Melissa McCarthy. We build around her from the inside out. So go ahead.
It's an uphill climb for me here now. Yeah, I am in a ditch right now. I got to dig myself out of this hole. Well, if anyone knows anything about basketball, it's all about who can control the ball and who's able to distribute the ball to their teammates and get everybody involved and make everyone better. So I'm going to go with a former Celebrity Game MVP and draft with my first overall pick, Nelly.
Oh.
We're going with Nelly. He's going to run the point for me, and I think that's going to take me. That should be enough right there. One pick. That's all I should really need out of this.
Yeah, if anyone's ever seen The Longest Yard, Nelly's an athlete. So... that is a good pick. He doesn't even wear shoes in that movie, I don't think. Wasn't he like flopping out of his shoes?
Yeah, he said he grew up without shoes, so he didn't need them.
I like that mentality. All he cares about is winning, and he loves the game. So Good pick. My next pick is since I'm gonna have McCarthy just banging around in the post, I need someone to draw out that help defense. So I got a little stretch for Kevin Malone from The Office. If you have ever seen the pickup.
That's such a reach. That's so early.
No. My man can stroke. So that's not something. When it comes to celebrities, that's hard to find. So
I'm only angry about this because I wanted him. That is one of the guys I wanted, and I'm kind of pissed that you just took him.
yeah, if you've ever watched The Office episode with the pickup basketball scene, at the end, Kevin Malone just goes around the horn, just icing mid-range jumpers. So he earned his spot on my team. I'm a little worried about his conditioning, but with the coaching staff I have, we'll be able to work that out. We'll make sure he's fresh.
Good pick, Chris. Well, if you're going big, I think with my second pick, I gotta reach a little and go big with this one. Someone I've been eyeing, someone who's real tall. I'm gonna go with Scott Van Pelt of the Scott Van Pelt Show. For all you ESPN fans out there, one of my favorite Sports Center anchors. I know he brings things to the highlights that I enjoy, and I think he'll bring it on the hardwood with his long legs and bald head and glasses. Oh, he's gonna wear the glasses.
Rec specs. You have to make it mandatory. He wears rec specs.
It's mandatory.
Oh, okay. All right, then. That's a good pick. I'm going to continue going big. That was a stretch 4, but I'm going to have a big small forward, similar to how Michigan State does. And I'm going with Conan O'Brien. Little-known giant.
Wow.
Yeah, he's huge. If you've ever seen him stand up on a show, like in his interviews, when he greets somebody, the dude's probably 6'4", 6'5". Like, he's
Is that with
long.
the hair? Is that with the hair?
With the hair, he's 6'8".
Ooh.
So yeah, watch out for that. But he's got long arms, long legs. I'm looking for the whole length on defense. He can bring that. He's got quick hands, I can tell too. So that's my small forward. Who you got?
Well, I got a guy I'm coveting right now, so I think I got to get him off the board because I think it's getting pretty late. Barack Obama, my starting shooting guard. And I know Chris and I were in his dorm watching Michigan State play it was the Final Four when they played Butler. And it was the year that Obama played Clark Kellogg in a game of horse at halftime. And solely because he was talking about some like economic policy or something like that, and he was losing in this game of horse, and he puts up a shot, and as it's in the air, it just goes wet, drains it. At that moment, I knew I wanted him on any team I would ever draft. So
Absolutely, man.
Barrio, don't sleep on Barrio, man.
I remember that. When he said that, I knew forever he had my vote. Whatever he's running for, Obama's got my vote. All right.
Are you a Nazi? Yes. Do you have a wet jumper? Yes. I'm still voting for you.
All right. I got, for my shooting guard, I'm going to take the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was in a movie. He was in a ton of phenomenal movies. He's a phenomenal actor. But he was in one movie in particular called Along Came Polly. And he just showed a certain determination on the court that really inspired me. His shot wasn't falling. He had a lot of bad bounces, I want to say. But he kept with it, and he kept playing his game. He didn't let the past get into his head. He kept playing his style of ball, and I appreciated that. And he has phenomenal nicknames. He has phenomenal things to yell. As Barack Obama's yelling wet, Philip Seymour Hoffman's answering back, yelling Rain Man, make it rain. All sorts of funny things. He's my team's irrational confidence guy. I'm ready for that. What do you got next?
Now I'm real worried. If you're gonna pick a dead guy to be your starting shooting guard, I don't know how much confidence you have with all these guys. Oh crap. My fourth pick, I'm going combo pop forward, combo guard, 2 Chainz.
Oh, damn,
2
man.
Chainz.
He's an actual hell of a baller. He played college ball at Alabama State.
I didn't know he played college ball. I knew he was big into basketball, but I didn't know he played college ball. I, aside from knowing that he played, the motivation behind picking him was I'm imagining that every time he just shoots a three, he shouts out his former stage name, which was Titty Boy. So hopefully we get him mic'd up for this game so we can just hear a lot of Titty Boy.
You can get a lot of signs that say just feed Taheen, which I believe is his real name. I think his real name's Taheen Epps.
Taheen Epps, that is correct.
That's a good man. Between him and Nelly, I feel like my size is really backfiring on me. You have legitimate athletes.
Don't forget that dead guy you just said.
All right, my team is backfiring. All right, this last pick is going to bring it all together. Since I went big almost all the way around, I need a veteran that's going to make all of this mesh. So I took Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler, off the top of my head, has played basketball in 4 separate movies, and he looks like he actually plays in his free time. I liked that. In Billy Madison, when he was faking having the fever, when he didn't want to go to school, he dunks a ball and he sprints to his bed. That shows that he has a commitment to getting back on defense after scores, and he's going to make sure that our transition game is always in check. He played in Chuck and Larry. He played in Grown Ups. And most importantly, he played one-on-one against Michael Irving in The Longest Yard. And it showed an incredible toughness. Michael Irving was really throwing bows. I don't know if you remember that scene, but it was a brutal game of prison ball.
He got hit in the face a few times. That's a very, very good late-round pick. I commend you for that pick. That's going to really tie the team together.
Yeah, he has like a whole body of work that's really just hard to ignore when it comes to movie basketball. So that's my 5.
Too bad we're playing real basketball now. To tie my team together, which I think you could kind of describe as a bit of a funky bunch. So I think there's only one person who can really lead a bunch of funky people, and that's Marky Mark. So Mark Wahlberg is going to be my starting small forward. I don't know if he can play, but I think he just fits. It's just why would you not pick Marky Mark to be with these guys? So that's my starting 3, and I think you're in trouble. I think that's a win we can put up for my team here.
I know your team, top to bottom, has much, much more talent than mine, has more talent, athletic ability, and conditioning, but my coaching staff, to put this all together, along with Adam Sandler's veteran leadership, is going to definitely get me the win. My coaching staff, I have Nick Nolte, who played the coach in Blue Chips, Martin Lawrence, who coached, I believe, middle school basketball in the hit movie Rebound. Oscar nominated, I think, in that role. And the last one is just the guy from Juwanna Man. So I have men and women on my team. I need someone that knows how to play with both and knows how to talk to both. So the guy from Juwanna Man.
I think you're really talking your coaching staff up because you haven't heard my coaching staff yet. I am going with the leading lady of all leading ladies to be my head coach, Sandra Bullock. You can't have a better head coach than Sandra Bullock. She is everything. You ever seen Speed? You ever seen Demolition Man? She's everything. She's sexy. She's tough. She's gritty. She's everything you want in Sandra Bullock.
She was a mother figure in the Blind Side.
Yeah, she mentored a large black man.
Yeah.
Good for her. And then, I mean, you went with a lot of movie coaches, which is probably not a bad idea because I went with one, and I probably got the best movie coach of all. I got Emilio Estevez, a.k.a. Gordon Bombay, on my staff. So I know he coached a different sport, but it's coaching, man. That's gonna translate.
Yeah, you can't teach that type of leadership that he has. And the flying V actually also works in basketball.
Well, let's keep your team at your team, and we'll keep my team at my team.
All right, fair enough. Sorry.
And then we got kind of the hype man, the intensity guy. My second assistant coach, Ice Cube.
Oh,
Ice Cube.
very nice. He showed a great ability to take what's a hectic situation and turn it into a positive in the movie Are We There Yet? So that's a great addition to your coaching staff. All right, that's our celebrity games. They would keep going. You got other guys that you considered who might be on our bench? I had Kevin James was a guy I almost took. I was going to take the Biebs, but he's fallen off the wagon, so he's off the team.
I spent a good 20 minutes. Have you seen that story going around that Blake Griffin smacked him in the face when he came in shirtless to a Starbucks?
I saw that. I heard it was a hoax, but I really hoped it wasn't. It cracked me up.
I spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out if it was real or not today because I was really hoping it was, but then it wasn't.
Which was unfortunate because that was hilarious.
That was yeah. Oh, it definitely was hilarious. I thought it was. I was really pulling for it to be real. But yeah, the Biebs, he might have run his course in life, let alone just his fame. Good luck, kid. Well, I got some guys. I put John Mayer and Adam Levine on my team, solely because they're just
they're hot
out and tatted up. Which it fits for an NBA type weekend. So
that's
I don't know if they could play, but they would fit. And then I'm gonna throw Spike Lee in there because of all the taunting he does and all the nicknames. I want to see him actually get out there and then like put Reggie Miller like in this front row, just taunting him.
I like that idea. I had another person I almost took, but they have also passed away, and I didn't want to have too many dead people on my team. Is the dog from Air Bud.
Oh.
But anyway, after that, you got to keep the celebrity All-Star game in All-Star Week. It's just always a good time. It's fun to watch. The next thing that we would have is the three-point contest, but with a little twist on it. The three-point contest, it's exciting. It's fun to watch these guys take all those threes. It's so impressive how many they hit. But it's like most events in All-Star Weekend, it's a little played out. So the change I wanted to make was it's a two-man team. So let's say your two-man team is Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. Steph Curry takes the first 4 shots on each rack, and then Klay Thompson takes the money ball. And that's how it goes all the way around. So one player shoots all the money balls, and the other guy shoots all the other shots. What do you think about that?
I like that idea because I think what you're saying is like a lot of these events have kind of played out like nobody hits all 25 shots. You get 5 shots in each rack, and you're at 5 different areas. So no one hits all 25 of them and gets the maximum score. So they're kind of at the limit of like what we're gonna see. So I do like that. I think what I think you could add to that is it's like because it is a couple of rounds, isn't it? So like you do 2 rounds. So let's say you have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Steph Curry shoots on the 4. Thompson shoots the money ball in the first round, and then the second round they flip.
That'd be cool too.
So then you could kind of keep everyone's individual score. Everyone will be shooting the 4 regular shots, and then everyone will get a chance at the money ball. You can keep an individual tally, and you can have like an individual champion, 3-point champion, and then a team 3-point champion.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that would kind of spice it up a little bit. So you can kind of still play for yourself, but you gotta work with your teammate there and hope he can pick you up as well.
What I think would be cool is how awesome would it be if one guy hit all 5 money balls? So he went 5 for 5, and that's doable. I mean, they're NBA players. You know, if he's standing there dribbling while the other guy's putting up 4 shots, it's not like he's just standing still. He can get into a little rhythm, step into it. There are players, a lot of them, that could hit all 5 of those money balls. That'd be exciting.
Oh yeah, no, I think that would, like you said, bring an added excitement to it because you're just sitting there. You have 5 shots and that's it, but you don't have to shoot. You don't have to put up, 24 jumpers before your last money ball, and you're a little tired. Now you're kind of going in a little fresher for each of them, and it just raises the chance of you making them.
Yeah.
So No, I really like that idea. I think that could really bring some excitement to it. And like you said, just bring something new. Bring something new and a little fresher.
Yeah, so if we made that change, here are a couple pairings that would be good. The Curry Thompson one, of course, is the first one to come to mind. Splash Brothers.
That might be the problem with this format is Curry Thompson might just win every year.
They could just go 25 for 25. I could see Curry hitting 4 out of 4 from multiple spots. I could see Klay Thompson hitting all 5 money balls.
Curry will probably hit 5 out of 4. That's how good he is.
Other pairings I had Lillard and Wes Matthews. I think that would be a good one. Wes Matthews has been shooting the lights out all year, and Lillard is one of the highest. Like, he's hit some of the most three-pointers in the league right now and shoots a good percentage. We also have Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon. I think that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And James Harden, Chandler Parsons is the last one.
Yeah, oh yeah, those would be some exciting teams to watch in an event like that.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
After that, eventually would come the skills competition. See, I really like the skills competition. I think it's fun to watch. I like watching them. I like how they do the camera in the back of the target. You know what I'm saying? So when they throw like the chest pass, it's coming right at the camera. That sort of stuff. I like that. You say you hate the skills competition, though.
Yeah, I like I think the idea is right, but I think it's kind of something. It's. I think the biggest issue with the skills competition is kind of a big issue with the NBA as a whole is it's kind of just too laid back, and there isn't a lot of intensity at times, and I think that's kind of a problem at times what people have with the NBA, and I think this is one of those competitions in the All-Star Weekend that kind of exudes that. Because you have guys, weaving through, motionless, skinny-ass, cones or whatever, and then they come to a line and stop and, make those bounce passes. So what I would like to see is just kind of take it up a notch. So, like, instead of just, these standing still, step into it, nice bounce pass Jimmy, 7th grade type passes that they have to make. Like, get them on the run, like Steve Nash used to do in Phoenix, and have like a pretty big sized target down at the end of the basket, like he's running a fast break, and Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion just out in front, getting to the basket, and you have to throw a one-handed bounce pass, dropping a dime. And I think that's more game-like that they would see, that people would want to see, rather than just what they do. Another cool thing, like how many half-court alley-oops do you see, with like guys like Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James? Like, I think that would be something cool. Again, have a huge target near the rim. An alley-oop pass doesn't have to be passed perfect, but get these guys on the run, get them moving, and make them throw like an alley-oop pass, or even get a guy who wants to go out there and grab passes and dunk. And I think that would be exciting to see. And I think that showcases their skills more. And I think that's kind of what people would want to see, is actually showcasing their skills.
Yeah, that's true. Because a lot of things they do in that challenge, like the chest pass, like you said, it's very 7th grade. Like, we know that these guys can do chest passes. Then they also, I think they take one jumper from the key or something like that. It's all these kind of pretty simple things. Then they finish on like a half-court run into a layup. So yeah, I guess if we could twist it up or heat it up a little bit, I guess, make the things a little more challenging, that might make it fun.
Yeah, when I was kind of coming up with this, I was just kind of everything. I was really just thinking of like Steve Nash when he was in Phoenix. So I was thinking you could just rename it the "Are You as Good as Steve Nash" competition. Let Steve Nash just design this competition. Be like, okay, I did this one time and it was awesome, so we're gonna put this in a competition.
He just designs the course every year, like the Hunger Games game master guy. Just makes it harder and harder.
Yep. We just made it better.
All right. After that is something that everybody who's 12 or younger absolutely adores, and everybody after that realizes that they've seen it before, and that's the dunk contest. Any ideas to make this thing more watchable? Because it's something that I used to like wake up in the morning excited for. Granted, I was 12 at that time, but now that I'm older, I'm in my 20s, I don't even really watch it anymore. How could we make it better?
That's a tough. I think the dunk contest is a tough one.
I got one thing. Mine, if they made it every 4 years, I think it would make it a lot more exciting. Imagine if we haven't seen it and it's been 4 years, we haven't seen it. Maybe LeBron James is more likely to join it. Maybe you get more stars in it. This year we actually have a decent group of stars that are in it, but that's not always the case. You don't have guys like Nate Robinson winning it 3 years in a row. If you made it every 4 years, it becomes more of an event, something that we look forward to, and I think it absolutely draws the top talent into it.
Yeah,
Tell me LeBron James wouldn't do it if it was only every 4 years.
Right. I like that idea. I think because this is like the dunk contest is kind of what everybody always wanted to see every year. But it's kind of one of those things that's just kind of just staying around because of its reputation.
Yeah, I mean, if I asked you to name the last 5 dunk competition winners, could you do it? Because I couldn't. I know Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross last year. Nate Robb.
He won it 3 times, I think, in a row. Blake Griffin won it 1 year.
Was it? Yeah.
You know what I mean, though? It just doesn't stick out anymore. There used to be stars that won it. MJ was in it. Dominique Wilkins was in it. Now you have guys like Terrence Ross, who, other than a random 50-point game that came out of nowhere, really has nothing on his resume except for the dunk contest. But
yeah, I was actually looking at the roster for that this year, and I think it's a pretty good lineup. I think there's some. I mean, Paul George. I think Paul George is the out-and-out favorite to win it. Did you see that? I mean, he did a 360 windmill in a game.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Which is when Vince Carter did that in the dunk contest in 2000. I've never seen a more just sick dunk than that 360 windmill.
That was actually a 10. That should have got a 10. As opposed to now every dunk gets like 10s across the board.
Yeah. So Paul George, and I watched Terrence Ross from last year. I liked all of his dunks. And the thing I liked about a lot of his dunks were they had some power to it. They weren't, do a little 360, put the ball through the hoop, barely grab the rim type thing. This was a double clutch, bring that ball all the way down to your hip and then throw it through. He was getting that ball and bringing it way back and just throwing it through the hoop. And I think that's an element, because if you watch Michael and Dominique, their dunks weren't these athletic spectacles that Vince Carter could do. Some of Michael's dunks they probably would get murmurs in the crowd, but they were just so powerful. And I think that's what they're kind of missing.
When you play Pop-A-Shot and there's that little lever inside the hoop that counts it when it goes through? Mm-hmm. What if sports science created a little one that they put on the bucket and they could measure how hard they slammed it? And that was something that popped up on the screen?
Cool. Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. If they got a little more sports science into it, like how hard they dunked it, maybe their airtime, their individual airtime. If they wore a shoe with like a little timer thing, it jumps, and then when it lands, it clicks it again, and they put those stats up, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, because I think I like the power aspect to the dunk. I want to see you try and rip the rim off. Like that's what when I see a dunk, I want, because in a game, you're going up, someone's trying to block your shot. So you got to throw it down with authority and try and break the dude's arm if he's going to get in your way. So that's kind of what I want to see in the dunk, is just get up and throw it down. Just throw it down. And I think Harrison Barnes, as long as he's a power dunker, as long as he can get some good airtime and hang time. I don't know how high of a jumper he is, but
Ross can get up. He can get up. He's long too.
Yeah, so Or Barnes, you mean, right?
No, I thought you said Ross. I'm sorry.
No, Barnes.
Oh,
No,
Barnes. Oh, yeah, that was one of the guys that I was kind of. Barnes and John Wall are kind of surprised me that they're in it.
I don't know about John Wall.
John Wall's definitely not my favorite to win it. I think Lillard will win some votes because he's so short, so his dunks will look cool. I think Paul George will win I think he'll win it overall just because of his own personal star power mixed with his actual dunking ability. It always seems like when a star does enter, they just automatically win because they're a star.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I'm honestly, I'm not. I know they changed up the rules a little bit this year. They're doing like a little team thing, but I'm probably still not going to watch it. Just doesn't really do anything for me anymore.
Yeah, I think that the idea, like you said, make it not every year anymore, so that it's like, oh, this year's dunk contest. People get a little more excited because they'll get a little hungry for it.
Yeah, I mean, if they did it every 4 years, tell me that they couldn't get 16 guys to do it and do a dunk-off like tournament bracket style. That would be cool.
Or you could do like a dunk game of horse.
That would be kind of cool too.
Dwight Howard versus Nate Robinson. Dwight's like, you got to do my dunk, little boy.
Dwight tries to get him by he jumps over Nate Rob, and then Nate Rob just jumps right back over him. See, that would have made that dunk way cooler.
There you go.
All right. After that, my old article from a year ago, fixing up the All-Star game, was based all around a 3-on-3 tournament that went throughout the entire week. The rules of the tournament were typical 3-on-3 basketball. Play by ones and twos, make it, take backs when you hit the rim. This one had a little wrinkle that it was no All-Stars. So if you were selected so to get more people into it, to get more NBA players out there, which means that some teams wouldn't be able to field a really good 3-on-3 team, like the Heat, for example, because their 3-on-3 team is already in the All-Star game. So it would kind of get some of those crappier teams out there and maybe some younger players and stuff and get to see them play. I always assumed in my brain it was always players from the same team, but maybe they're not from the same team either. Maybe it's just buddies. Maybe you got Josh Smith and Rondo trying to play on a 3-on-3 team. I don't know how that contract stuff
Josh Smith
works,
and Rajon Rondo are not friends.
I'm pretty sure they are friends.
I don't know how that's true.
I think they're friends. I think they played together growing up. I think they're the only people on Earth that like each other. Like they like the other one. But
that seems fishy. I don't know about that.
Maybe the Pistons can turn that into a Josh Smith trade and get him the hell out of Detroit.
That's a Felix and Oscar couple right there. That's an odd couple.
But here's some of the 3-on-3 teams, minus All-Stars, of course, that I was able to put together. The Pacers could put one out. Even though Paul George and Hibbert made the All-Star game, they still have Stevenson, David West, and you could pick George Hill. I picked George Hill. Tell the people who you picked, because I think it was disgusting.
I would have gone with Luis Scola. I would have got big and ugly.
Oh, God. Then you achieved it. If you're going for big and ugly, Luis Scola's the guy to pick.
I would have gone big and ugly. Luis, just sit on the block, let Lance do his thing, get out of his way. Hit a 12-foot jumper if the ball rolls off the rim to you.
So I think if Hill is on that team that has a good shot of winning, I think if Scola's on the team, a fight breaks out. Nobody likes Luis Scola. He's dirty,
which is
man.
Why you put him in there.
I don't like it. Maybe he's on the bench. Another team, the Celtics, could put out a decent one. Since Rondo was hurt all year, he didn't make the All-Star team. So you'd have Rondo, Jeff Green, and I said Avery Bradley because I am a monster Avery Bradley fan.
I would put Avery Bradley on any 3-on-3 team in a heartbeat.
That would be so much fun to watch him just play isolation D over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And Rondo too on the ball. That'd be a fun team to watch. Mm-hmm. In the open. Rondo in the open with not as much help defense would be a lot of entertainment. The Pistons could put out a decent team. Since they are absolutely horrid and sent no All-Stars, we could pick from the entire team. I said Drummond, Jay Smoove, and Brandon Jennings. But you wanted Will Bynum on the team.
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely. Because he's, in a word, Dynamite.
Oh God, never say that again.
No, we'll bind them. We'll bind them, and Jay Smooth are made for 3-on-3 basketball. That's
That's
why they're
true.
relevant.
That's
Teams
true.
teams would sign these guys just so they could have them play in the 3-on-3 tournament. They would. This would extend their careers at least 7.5 years.
How about we truce here? I hate Brandon Jennings, so let's kick him off the team. Just replace him with Bynum.
Let's kick Brendan Jennings out.
Because you were saying Bynum instead of Drummond, right?
Yes.
Let's just go Bynum instead of Jennings. Then you get your Bynum. I lose my Jennings. We're both
And
happy.
for some reason, we were both high on Jay Smooth for this.
Yeah, this is the only time you'll ever hear me say I'm high on Jay Smooth. But that'd be a solid team. That'd be entertaining. Portland, again, is another team that's really deep. And even though Lillard and Aldridge went to the All-Star game, you still have Nick Batum, Wes Matthews. And then I said Thomas Robinson. He hustles a lot. I think in a 3-on-3 environment where you only have to worry about one guy boxing you out, I think Robinson would be a monster on the boards.
And I think if you put him on a team with Matthews and Batum where they're just draining threes, there's so much space.
Mm-hmm.
There would be so much. There's so much space for 3-on-3 anyway. But when you just have guys who are just draining, just chucking up threes from the outside, and it's just you, Thomas Robinson and someone else down low, just him, I would take Thomas Robinson over most everybody.
Yeah. Especially the ones that would be eligible here. All the All-Stars are out. It's not like he'd have to battle against a Kevin Love or a Dwight Howard or something.
Right. There's no one who's as big and probably has a motor like he does that would just kind of fit a style like this and kind of just do what this game is trying to do to showcase people that you don't really see.
What if the three-point competition was, I just got a new wrinkle on it. It's still a two-man game, but instead of two shooters, you have a shooter and you have a big man and there's one ball. So, let's say Lillard is in the three-point competition. He's got Robinson in the paint, and then you got, Ty Lawson and Kenneth Faried on the other team, and it just comes down to you put up a three. If you hit it, you get it back. If you miss it, the two battle for a rebound, and they fire it out to their other teammate. That would be kind of cool.
That would never fly, though.
Never. That would get brutal.
That would
Those guys
never
would be
fly
fighting.
because no one would just go down there and be like, "Yeah, let's just play a good old box out, have a good old box out session right down here."
I think there's a small NBA population that would be into that. I think Kenneth Faried is one of them.
But that's the problem. It'd be a small population, and yeah. Ken Faried for sure, Thomas Robinson, but it'd just be too selective a group.
Maybe this is how you get that bum Luis Scola involved. We just have him battling down low.
Just have him be all-time rebounder. Luis, go get the ball.
All right. We also had this was the end-all, be-all. This is the one that just made us stop listing teams because this team would win no matter what. With no All-Stars involved, the Sacramento Kings, their team would win. They'd have DeMarcus Cousins, Ben McLemore, and Rudy Gay, with a possible Isaiah Thomas coming off the bench if you got 4 on each team.
That team is dirty.
That's lights out right there.
That team is dirty. You fear that team.
Yeah, that's the number 1 seed in the tournament.
Yeah,
no
and
questions asked.
It would all just be based off of college basketball preseason rankings where you don't see the guys play, but it's just based on what you think they're gonna do, and that would be the consensus number 1 for sure.
All 3 of those guys are incredibly athletic. All 3 of them have something that they're great at. Cousins is a monster down low right now. He's playing the best basketball of his life. McLemore can shoot the lights out, especially in a 3-on-3 style where there's so much space. And then Rudy Gay, he loves shooting. He loves it. He loves shooting more than he loves his mama. So
you're telling me there's only 2 people I can pass to or shoot it? This is great. I love basketball again. That's my impression of Rudy Gay when they told him there was a 3-on-3 competition.
I like that. So that's our 3-on-3 tournament. There'd be other teams. They battle it out. I would tune in for that. I would pay pay-per-view to watch 3-on-3 tournaments of NBA players. That'd be fun, especially if they're actually into it. which I think if they were non-All-Stars, I think they would be into it. A lot of these guys are the types of guys that they really need to get their face out there. They need to get some recognition.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, would they actually care? Would they be like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to go out there and play? Like, but you'd have to give them something, give them some incentive for winning. What do you think you would give them?
I always just assumed like the same sort of monetary value attached to like the dunk competition, like a car, some money. Maybe it's 3-on-3, but at the same time it's a briefcase ladder match, WWE style. So there's a briefcase of money hanging above the court, and you have to try to climb the ladder to get it. I don't know, just different things that we could pay them off with.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like, give them a card, like you said. I thought give each team like Nike make a shoe in there, like give them a shoe deal for it, and then like every year you'd have like a new big three. Like,
oh, that would be sweet.
It kind of got big when Boston got Pierce, Allen, and Garnett together, and that's when like the big threes started being like a thing. So like every year, like this would be the new big three coming in every year.
I like that. I would definitely buy a basketball shoe that had Boogie Cousins, Macklemore, and Rudy Gay on it.
Dude, just Boogie's ugly mug on your heel.
Now that's a street ball shoe.
The other idea I had was get out of jail free cards.
I think some teams would need that more than others, but I like it.
Some teams more than others, yeah.
I think that would really get J.R. Smith to play.
So you mean if I keep fucking up and I get caught, I don't have to pay the penalty? Yes.
How about
I'm playing every year.
They'll pay your child support for a year? So So Dwight Howard just tries not to make the All-Star team just so that he can play in the 3-on-3 and win it?
A year's worth of child support.
All right. The final thing of All-Star Week, of course, is the actual All-Star game. Ways to make it better is notice of all the 4 major sports, the only All-Star game that's really worth watching is Major League Baseball. And it's because it has a legitimate on-field incentive to win, because they give the winner home field advantage in the World Series. So I was thinking if you attached home field advantage to the All-Star game, the guys would play harder. You think that would work? I mean, I feel like that. We saw it work in baseball. I think it'll also work in basketball.
I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna throw you off here a little bit. I hate that.
Really?
I haven't watched the baseball All-Star game since they put that rule in. I've been boycotting it. I swear to you, I've been boycotting the All-Star game in baseball because I think it's stupid. I don't think there's a reason that some crap. Well, baseball is different because every team has to have an All-Star. So, I mean, you're gonna have a guy for the Cubs go into the game to decide which league is gonna have home field advantage, and he's not even gonna ever get that chance that year. Or the Padres have a guy that's going to try and be a factor in that. But since the NBA doesn't do that, that might work a little bit more.
And I think the great teams, since the NBA is so star-centric, those same players that are trying to make it to the finals are the same players that will get crunch time minutes in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you'll have Kobe. You'll definitely always have Kobe out there, LeBron, Dwight.
Paul George is going to be out there.
Hibbert would be out there. And I think there are some guys who actually get up to play in the All-Star game and want to showcase themselves. I think Hibbert's pissed that they took the center position off the ballot because now he didn't get voted as a starter because they took his position out.
Oh.
He's very vocal about that they so I think he's one that kind of always would put the effort in.
The All-Star game's not conducive to his style of play, though. I
Right.
don't see him sticking out other than the one guy who's trying to protect the rim. Hustle for rebounds. I don't see that.
Get some putback slams though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of making an exhibition game count for your championship. I think that's kind of a flaw, and I think baseball really didn't need it. I remember one of the All-Star games I watched. I think Kurt Schilling was I think it was Kurt Schilling because he was with the Diamondbacks, and A-Rod was either with the Rangers or the Yankees. And Schilling told A-Rod, and this because it didn't really matter. Schilling told A-Rod, he goes, if the first two guys in front, A-Rod was batting third, he goes, if the first two guys get out, you're getting all fastballs. And like, that's what you want. You want to see the best challenge the best. And I think baseball can do that. And lo and behold, the first two guys got out. So I was sitting, the announcers knew that beforehand, so they mentioned that. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, here they come. It's going to be bringing cheese to A-Rod. This is what you want to see. So I'm not a huge, I want to see your talent showcased. Not necessarily competitiveness, but I want to see I want to see the full extent of your skill that you maybe can't do in a regular game. Like, I think one thing would be really cool because I want to see guys who can just shoot and light it up. So I think if you gave guys like Steph Curry move a line back and make a 4-point line, just let Steph Curry shoot from the parking lot.
That would be cool.
I think stuff like that would be cool. Just some ridiculousness, so that it puts a little bit more emphasis on the skills that they actually have.
All right, I like that. Another thing that I thought of too, I actually love the 4-point line idea. That would be fun to watch. Another thing I had though was interactive online live fan voting. So fans can vote for subs, who do they want to see subbed in? They can vote for different aspects of the game, I know you never have a technical free throw, but they can vote for things like that. Who's going to take the final shot? Fans vote. And we got to kind of clear out and go one-on-one. Who's going to guard the final shot? Things like that.
That'd be interesting.
I'm afraid that would just turn into us seeing, Kobe Bryant over and over and over again and Dwight Howard over and over again. Maybe guys that don't quite deserve to be there. Back in the day, maybe Yao Ming. Guys who just dominate voting for whatever reason are going to dominate this as well, but I think it might be fun.
I think that's a cool concept to have, the fans pick what they want to see, because I think that's what, in the end, that's what it's all about. And to a certain extent, though, because I actually I hate the way fans vote. I think it would be fine if you didn't let them vote, especially for starters, or maybe only let them vote for one or two guys, because Kobe made the team this year. Kobe's slated as a starter.
I know, I hate it too, and I don't think Dwayne Wade should be in the game either. He's barely played.
I don't think Dwayne Wade should be in the game.
Joe Johnson has no business being in the game.
Joe Johnson is 15-3-2. Those are his stats. I looked it up. 15-3-2, and that's an all-star.
There's another 20 guys in the league that have those numbers.
Now,
and it's not even like he's on a good team either. He's on a shitty team, and he's putting up average numbers.
Yeah, and then
a guy like Chandler Parsons is doing that same thing for a better team in Houston.
Exactly. And you brought up Yao. Yao was selected in more all-star games than he actually played in the NBA. The last 4 years he didn't even play, he was still voted a starter.
Yeah.
Every year.
And that's the thing too with the fan voting is if sometimes when you have a big foreign player, they get voted in really easily just because they have the overseas fans backing them up. And I mean, it is all about what the fans want to see, but at the same time, you're taking away from guys that are working hard and not making the All-Star team. There were times
and I think you can't remiss the fact that I think it's about the players, because I think the players, at least the ones who don't get in all the time, who don't get these fans, like Dwayne Wade. Why should Dwayne Wade care like how he plays, because he's gonna get voted in every year because
Yeah.
it's a popularity contest. But guys like Lance Stevenson, Hibbert, who've never been there, Boogie, like they care. They
Mhm.
want to be in the game. And I think if you took away the fan vote, or like I said, maybe let them vote 2 people in. So you vote for LeBron and Kobe. Okay, if back when Kobe was like in his prime, they're gonna make it anyway. Let the fans say that those are the guys they want. Okay, so the fans can't screw anything up, and then you get more guys who kind of deserve to do that.
Oh, so the fans only vote for 2 of the spots?
Right? Yeah, because I think the fans do deserve an aspect of it, but I don't think they should just do the whole starting 5. Because yeah, Dwayne Wade starting is ridiculous. Let's see about that.
Also, the fan voting, like I was saying with the overseas thing, the same thing applies to guys who play in big markets, like
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
Johnson. Joe Johnson made it because he plays for Brooklyn, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and
anyway.
I think the pick should be kind of more analyst driven. I saw like the who like all the TNT guys wanted, and I kind of agreed with most everybody that they had. Like they had Boogie, some of them had Tim Duncan, which maybe may not could have made it this year, but they had some. They didn't pick guys that we just mentioned that shouldn't have been, that we don't think should have been in the game. Those guys they left off their list too.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of more in tune with who should actually be in the game.
Maybe the same way that they vote the NBA, like the all NBA teams, they also vote for the All-Star teams.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of getting lost that that's actually kind of for the players to kind of let them, like we've mentioned, let them showcase what they have.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's enough for the All-Star game. Anything you want to add on before we kind of sign off here?
You know what? I don't.
All right.
I had a good time today.
I think we did a good one. I liked our celebrity teams.
Well, I liked my celebrity team. I like that I was able to field a full team. In case you missed it earlier, Chris picked a dead man to be a starting shooting guard.
He brings it. I mean, he's the ultimate heat check guy. I'm gonna stick by that pick. But I think that's it then. I guess I will get at you sometime soon, maybe after trade deadline or maybe coming up near playoffs. We'll do another podcast here.
Let's keep doing it, man. I'm having a lot of fun.
Me
and I
too.
hope you guys out there are too, listening to this.
I hope so too. Yeah, I actually get because since I'm on every podcast, I get occasional little pats on the back from people that listen to them that like them. I should pass them along to you too when you're on. Give you a shout out. But that's it for this week.
That would really help my self-confidence. It would really be a boost I need at this point in my life.
All right. Well, man, I'll get at you sometime soon. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.